You know, we're going to study something today that can change your life forever, forever. Personal development. The greatest investment you can make in life is the investment you make in yourself. Not in stocks, not in bonds, not in real estate, but in yourself. And today I want to share with you 5 abilities that can transform everything about your future. But first, let me tell you something about being a student. Be a student. Be a student of economics, especially you young people. Learn how money works. Learn how to become financially independent. I've been teaching young people for the last 18, 19 years how to be rich by 40. 35 if you're extra bright. Most kids think they're extra bright. They go for 35. Or much sooner if you find a unique opportunity. But you've got to study. You've got to learn. Be a student of culture, sophistication. Don't leave that out of your life. Culture is part of the fabric of the nation. Culture is what makes us different than dogs and animals. Be a student of the dance and the art and the music and all the rest of those extraordinary human values. And the last one, spirituality. Study it from the Bible and all the related books about spirituality. If you're a believer, study and practice. Now here's something else I want you to do. Keep a journal. Keep a journal. Not only be a student, but the good ideas that you develop from the books. Keep a separate journal. Write all this stuff down. Here's what I learned. Don't trust your memory. If you're serious about becoming wealthy and powerful and sophisticated and healthy and influential, keep a journal. Don't trust your memory. If you listen to something valuable, write it down. If you come across something important, write it down. Write it down. I've been keeping these journals now since age 25. It makes up a valuable part of my own learning, and it's a valuable part of my library. Be a buyer of empty books. People find it interesting. I'd buy an empty book. What did I pay for this one? $26. People say, $26 for an empty book? Why would you do that? Well, the reason I paid $26 is to press me to see if I can't find something worth $26 to put in here. And I'm telling you, if you got a hold of one of my journals, you wouldn't have to look very far until you would say, this is worth more than $26. I call it one of the 3 treasures to leave behind. Number 1 is your pictures. Take a lot of pictures. A picture's worth 1,000 words. Don't be lazy in capturing the event. And how long does it take to capture the event? A fraction of a second. How long does it take to miss the event? A fraction of a second. Take lots of pictures, help tell the story. Next, your library. The library that you gathered, that taught you, that instructed you, that helped you to develop a philosophy, that helped you to become wealthy and powerful and sophisticated. Leave your library behind. One of the greatest gifts you can leave behind is your library. Your books will be more valuable than your couch. Your books, your books, your books. And third is your journals, the ideas that you picked up, the notes you took at seminars like this. Repetition is the mother of skill. Read it one more time. Learn it one more time. Let it coach you one more time. Let it teach you one more time. Let it inspire you one more time. What a treasure to leave behind when you go, your journals. Now let me share with you the 5 abilities as part of your personal development quest. Here's the first one. Develop the ability to absorb, the ability to soak it up like you're doing today. Be like a sponge. Don't miss anything. And not just the words. Don't miss the atmosphere. Don't miss the color. Don't miss what's going on. Most people are just trying to get through the day. Here's what I want you to be committed to do. Learn to get from the day. Don't just get through it. Get from it. Learn from it. Let the day teach you. Join the university of life. What a difference that'll make in your future. I've got a personal friend of mine who's so gifted in this area. He can tell you as a teenager where he was and what he did and what he said and what she said and the color of the sky and what was going on that day. And the reason is because he gets it. He gets it. It's more exciting to have him go to Acapulco, come back and tell you about it than it is to go yourself. He's got this extraordinary gift. When he's there, he doesn't miss anything. Here's a good phrase for you to jot down. Wherever you are, be there. Be there to absorb it. Take pictures with your mind. Let your soul and heart take pictures. Get it. Capture it. Absorb it. Key phrase. Casualness leads to casualties. Second, learn to respond. The ability to respond means let life touch you. Don't let it kill you, but let it touch you. Let sad things make you sad. Let happy things make you happy. Give in to the emotion. Let the emotion strike you. Here's what's important. Our emotions need to be as educated as our intellect. It's important to know how to feel. It's important to let life in. Let it touch you. I'm the greatest guy in the world to take to the movies. I get into a good movie. I want a good movie. Make me laugh, make me cry, scare me to death, teach me something, take me high, take me low. Just don't leave me as I was when I came in. Touch me, do something to me. And here's the third ability. Develop the ability to reflect. Reflect means go back over, study it again, go back over these notes that you're taking today. But there's more to it than that. Go back over your day. I call it run the tapes again so that the day locks in firmly. Here's some good times to reflect at the end of the day. Take a few minutes at the end of the day. Go back over the day. Who'd you see and what they say and what happened, so that you capture that day. A day is a piece of the mosaic of your life, and don't treat it casual. Get from the day. Go back over the day so that it locks in. Take a few hours at the end of the week called time to reflect. Take half a day at the end of the month called time to reflect. And take a weekend at the end of the year to establish this year now firmly in your consciousness. The ability to reflect. Go back over. Remember, remember, remember. It's so valuable to be able to remember the thought, remember the experience, remember the day, remember the emotion. There's also something to be said for solitude when you reflect. Sometimes you can reflect with somebody, husband and wife, parents with children, colleagues with each other, but you got to learn to reflect with yourself. There's something to be said for solitude. I've got a motorhome with my motorcycle on the back. I head for the mountains where there's very few human beings. When you live a very public life, you treasure solitude. A chance to reflect, go back over my life, go back over my experiences alone. There are some things you need to do alone. Ponder, think, wonder, read, study, and see if you can't become better this year than you were last year. Here's why it's important to reflect. To make the past more valuable to serve you for the future. Learning to gather up the past and invest it in the future. And gather up today and invest it in tomorrow. Gather up this week and invest it in the next week. Gather up this year and invest it in the next year. Rather than just hanging on one more year, learn, study. Becoming better than you are, more valuable than you are, work on yourself. Then you bring more value to the partnership, to the marriage, to the family. Self-development, personal development. The best contribution you can make to someone else is self-development, not self-sacrifice. Self-sacrifice only earns contempt. Self-development earns respect. I used to use the old expression, you take care of me and I'll take care of you. I found out how shallow that was, and I changed it to read like this. I'll take care of me for you if you will please take care of you for me. Here's number 4. Develop the ability to act. Take action. Not hasty if it isn't required, but don't lose much time. Here's the time to act. When the idea is hot and the emotion is strong, that's the time to act. You say, Mr. Rohn, I'd like to have a library like yours. If you feel strong about that, get the first book and then get the second book before the feeling passes and before the idea gets dim. Action. Action immediate. Action as soon as possible. Because if you don't, here's what happens. We call it the law of diminishing intent. We intend to when the idea strikes us. We intend to when the emotion is high. But if you don't translate that into action fairly soon, the intent starts to diminish, diminish, diminish. A month from now, it's cold. A year from now, can't be found. So act. Somebody talks about good health and you're stirred. Get a book on nutrition before the idea passes. Start the library. Fall on the floor, do some push-ups. Got to take action, and otherwise the wisdom is wasted. Otherwise the emotion soon passes. Disciplines is called how to capture the emotion and translate it into equity. Now here's what's important about disciplines. All disciplines affect each other. Everything affects everything else. Nothing stands alone. Everything matters. Every letdown affects the rest of your performance. If you don't take the walk around the block, you probably won't do the apple a day. If you don't do the apple a day, you probably won't start building your library. And the first thing you know, 6 years of that accumulated. And we say you have messed up. But here's the positive side. Every new discipline affects the rest of your disciplines. That's why action is so important. The smallest action, take it. When you start accomplishing and the value starts to return from that one action, it'll inspire you to do the next one and the next one. You start walking around the block, it'll inspire you to get an apple. Get an apple, it'll inspire you to get a book. All disciplines affect each other. Every lack affects the rest. Every new affects the rest. And here's the greatest value of discipline, self-worth, self-esteem. The least lack of discipline, and it starts to erode our psyche. One of the greatest temptations is to just ease up a little bit. The slightest lack of doing your best starts to erode the psyche. Instead of doing your best, doing just a little less than your best. Here's the problem with the least neglect. Neglect starts as an infection, and if you don't take care of it, it becomes a disease. When neglect starts, it diminishes our self-worth, our self-confidence. You say, how can I get back my self-respect? All you have to do is start the smallest discipline that corresponds to your own philosophy. I should and I could and I will. That's the key to discipline. And here's the last ability. Develop the ability to share. Pass along to someone else if you've picked up a good idea today. Pass it along. A book. If you take one of these books home and it affects you, pass it along. Say, I found a book really helped me. I found a book got me thinking. I found a book changed my health. Pass it along. Here's what's exciting about sharing. If you share with 10 different people, they get to hear it once, you get to hear it 10 times. So it's probably going to do more for you than it is for them. Everybody wins when somebody shares. Share your ideas. Share your experiences. Share your knowledge. You can get the same thing started by recommending a book. Somebody will read that book and they'll come to you someday and say, you got me started. That book you recommended turned my lights on, got me thinking, and I've been on track ever since. Share with your children. Share with your colleagues. Share with everybody that comes within your grasp. Now here's what sharing does. Makes you bigger than you are. If I had a glass of water and it was full, can that glass hold any more water if it's full? The answer is yes. But for it to hold more, you got to pour out what's already in. If you're full of ideas, if you're full of good things, pour it out. More will be poured in. When you do pour out, you become bigger. Human beings have the ability to grow in consciousness and capacity. It's unlimited capacity. Kids don't lack capacity. In Europe, the kids speak 2, 3, 4, 5 languages. How many languages can a child learn? As many as you'll take the time to teach them. They do not lack capacity. They only lack teachers. The same thing is with you. You don't lack capacity. Share what you've got and your capacity grows. Why should you want your capacity to grow? To hold more of the next experience. Some people will get more out of this seminar than others. If you haven't been expanding your capacity, you might not get much. But if you've been sharing and expanding, no telling what this could mean to you today. Some people can't be very happy. You could pour happiness out on the whole world. Some people can't be very happy. Why? They're not big enough. If you're small, you don't get much. Small in comprehension, small in appreciation. Don't be like that. Learn to share. It's a glorious experience. These 5 abilities: absorb, respond, reflect, act, and share. Develop these 5 abilities and your life will never be the same. But let me close with this thought about setting goals. Not long after I met my mentor, we're having breakfast one morning. He said, let me see your current list of goals. And I said, what? I don't have a list? And he said, well, if you don't have a list of your goals, I can guess your bank balance within a few $100s. Which he did, and that got my attention. I said, you mean my bank balance would change if I had a list of goals? He said, drastically. So that day I became a student of setting goals. Here's what goals are: your vision of the future. There's 2 ways to face the future. One with apprehension, number 2 with anticipation. Most people face the future with apprehension. Why? They don't have it well designed. They've left the design of their future to somebody else. And if you don't make plans of your own, you'll probably fall into someone else's plans. Guess what someone else may have planned for you? Not much. Most people all their lives count on this not much list. If all your negative relatives turn positive, what will that do for your future? Not much. If prices come down a little, what will that do? Not much. If the economy gets better, what will that do? Not much. That's why 10 years from now, they'll be driving what they don't want to drive, living where they don't want to live, wearing what they don't want to wear, doing what they don't want to do. You got to count on yourself. And here's one of the things you got to count on: your ability to design the future. It's called the promise. And the promise of the future, if you'll design it well, can have an awesome effect on your life. But if you face the future with apprehension, you'll take hesitant steps all day. We got to help our kids with the promise of the future. Here's what's connected to the promise: the price. But the price is easy if the promise is clear. One of the better notes to make for today: the price is easy if the promise is clear and powerful. But the price seems almost too much to pay if the promise isn't clear. Kids will pay the disciplines if they can see the promise. We will pay the most extraordinary disciplines if we can see the promise of the future. Called setting goals. Get a handle on the future. Don't leave it to anyone else. Set your own goals. Here's how simple goal setting is. Decide what you want and write it down. That's how profound this stuff is. Decide what you want and write it down. Make a list. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? What do you want to see? What do you want to be? What do you want to have? Decide on all that stuff and write it down. It's your own private list. Whatever. Foolish things, important things, doesn't matter. It's your list. Keep your list with you. I keep my list in my journal so that I can go back and see my growth, see how my philosophy has changed and expanded. Setting goals. It doesn't matter how small or foolish it is, put it on your list. Decide what you want and write it down. Get together with your family. Decide, write it down, make a list. That's how easy it is. These abilities absorb, respond, reflect, act, share, and the power of setting goals. Start today. Start with the smallest discipline. Start with the simplest step. But start. Your future is waiting on the other side of what you do today. Make it count.